Joining me now is Arkansas gymnastics coach Jordyn Wieber. And Jordyn, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, how have things been since everything kind of went on a standstill? I know that you went from getting ready to senior day to having to leave campus really in a short amount of time.
Yeah, well, this is definitely not the way I expected my first year here at Arkansas to end. It was a little bit disappointing, just the timing of everything. We missed our senior meet, and then the rest of the season, including SEC championships, regionals, and on, which was hard. I mean, it was felt like loss for our team, and took a while to kind of grieve through some of those emotions and. It was hard, but I think now we're kind of back in a groove, kind of figuring out our new normal as a team. A lot of Zoom meetings like this one, but we're figuring it out. We're getting through it, and I can tell you, our team and both our team and the coaching staff are just really motivated and excited for next year.
How are you able to send your seniors off in the right way because they didn't get a senior day? I know Jessica Yamzon really upset about that because of the career she's had at Arkansas. But how are you guys as a team able to thank them for their time here at Arkansas?
Yeah, we're still in the process of figuring that out. But what
Mm-hmm.
we started with was the day we found out that our season was canceled. We, had the whole team over for a team dinner, and we watched our senior video in my living room, and just kind of had some moments and just thanked our seniors. And our final team meeting of this past year over Zoom. Obviously, we had them say their final message to the team in their words, and we didn't get to have our end of the year banquet, which we want to reschedule.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely next year for sure at our senior meet, we're going to be honoring both classes of seniors. But I assured them we're going to find a way to honor you guys in the way that they deserve.
I love that. Let's talk now about Sophia Carter and Kennedy Hambrook and Bailey Lovett. Those three girls just got some LSE honors, but had just such a great season for you in your first year here. Can you talk about those three individually?
Oh, I'm so proud of those three. I'm glad they're getting the recognition they deserve. Just Bailey, first and foremost, she just got also a Hogsby Award
Mm-hmm.
for her comeback. A lot of people don't know the background behind why she wears her elbow brace. She redshirted her freshman year because she was out with an elbow surgery, she got a Tommy John, and
Mm-hmm.
then immediately when she came back from that, she re-injured and tore her UCL in her elbow. And that
Mm-hmm.
was at the beginning of our preseason, and she was kind of faced with the decision of whether or not she was going to compete through this year or give up gymnastics completely or get a surgery or kind of go a different way. And she decided that she was going to wear that brace and fight through the
Mm-hmm.
year. And she did so with so much joy and excitement for her team. And I think that's one of the things I love most about Bailey is just the way she's so team oriented. And then obviously Sophia and Kennedy, they just had fantastic competitive seasons, both just so solid staples for our lineups. Their consistency is probably the number one thing that earned them those awards. They just
Mm-hmm.
week in and week out, they just focused on being consistent and doing their job for their team.
One thing I loved about watching Sophia was her energy on the floor. And I know that's a event for you that you specialize in. How fun was it to work with Sophia in that event and then see her continuing to grow throughout the season?
It's so fun. She's fun to coach because she has this amazing performance quality that doesn't need a lot of coaching. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that she owns and she knows is one of her strengths. So as soon as she got her floor routine choreographed by our assistant Caitlin, she started dialing in her performance quality and eye contact, and that's something that she even helps her other teammates with as well because that's something that comes a little more natural for her. And it was fun to be able to work with her. She's such a mature athlete.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she needs to do in the gym, and she goes out in competition. And we just have total trust in her. We're not nervous when she goes up to salute the judges. We're just confident, and I think that says a lot about her consistency and the person that she is.
I know the season was cut short, but what do you think you've learned about yourself in that first year of head coaching that maybe surprised you and maybe you think was the biggest learning lesson that you learned this year?
Oh gosh, I keep getting that question, and
Yeah.
it's so weird. I've been here for a whole year already, but I don't know. We experienced a little bit of everything this year. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit of adversity. Our team went through a lot of change. Bringing in a whole new coaching staff is a big for a team of 15 student athletes. So, I think what I learned mainly about the team is that they are very resilient in a lot of different ways. They adapted to change really, really well, which I keep reminding them of as they, take that and into the rest of their careers and even into their life after gymnastics. I remind them how they dealt with change this year and how gracefully they did it. And as far as myself, I'm still learning every single day. I think that's one quality that's really good in a coach is just the commitment to continue learning. And never once will I sit back and say I know everything about coaching, but I just tried to approach everything with confidence. And we had a lot of fun this year. I think that was one thing that surprised me was just how much fun it was. I knew it was going to be stressful and just a lot of adversity, but we had a whole lot of fun. And I have the team and the other coaches to thank for that for sure.
I know part of that coaching is recruiting, which has got to be weird now that you can't go out and watch gymnasts in their gym and recruit on the road. How has this whole COVID-19 changed the way you've been recruiting?
It's been tough because, we can't have anyone come to our campus and visit. We can't go out on the road and watch anybody practice or evaluate their competitions or anything. Basically it's just over the phone, texting, emailing, calling. So it's been a challenge, but it's been great to get on the phone with some future student athletes and get to know them and be able to spend a little more time on it. And we're really just planning for the future, figuring out who's going to come here and be a great fit for Arkansas and who wants to be a future gym back. We've got our next couple recruiting classes for the most part set. So we're focusing on kind of later down on the line, some of the younger athletes, which is exciting because there's so much talent out there. And we're just looking for those people that want to come and be at Arkansas and work hard with our team.
I love that you say great fit because as you now as a head coach look to see what your teams want to look like, what does a gymnast that has that great fit as a gym back for your program look like?
Yeah. Well, there's the obvious things, like the skill level, being able to have 10-0 start values. And then there's the other things that I like to focus on even more than the skill level. It's competitiveness, athletes that can go up under huge amounts of pressure and compete really well. And if not even better than they do when they practice. We look at competitiveness. Another thing that I focus on is just good character qualities. Athletes, they're going to put their team over themselves. It's interesting in gymnastics, in club gymnastics, it's not very team oriented. You have a team, but for the most part, it's just you up there on that balance beam and out there competing. And then when you come to college, it's a lot more team oriented. So we're looking for athletes that want to be a part of the team, want to put other people before themselves and understand that you can accomplish so much more on a team. And then we also look at other qualities like how you respond to your coaches, what you're like in practice, what's your attitude. A lot of those character qualities I feel are just as important, if not more important than the skill level and the talent of the athletes.
So what have you been doing now that we've kind of had to not be able to really go a whole lot of places and you've got a lot of time to spend at home or in the office by yourself? What does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, well, I've been communicating with our team a lot. They're still finishing up their finals right now, actually. So we still have academic goals that we're shooting after, and so I've just been encouraging them along those lines. We did a lot of reflection on this past season, and then looking forward into the next season, what we want to do differently and what we did really well this year that we want to bring with us. So connecting with the team. Being able to just, get on Zoom calls with my family and FaceTime and just be able to spend a little more time connecting with people, which is very weird in a time that we're so disconnected. I'm really trying to get connected with people in my life. And then, in addition to that, we rescued a dog. So we thought this was the perfect time to stay home and train her. So that's been fun too.
Nice. What did you name her?
Her name is Zora, but we call her Zozo for short.
Okay. What kind of dog is she?
She is a big 75-pound. We think she's a lab and pit bull mix, but we're not sure because we rescued her. So
nice. I love it. Any Netflix binge watching or any movies that you've watched recently?
Yeah, so a little bit of that. That's kind of the nightly routine. Once all the work is done, and we sit down and watch movies and TV shows. And I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of rewatching all of Grey's Anatomy, which is my favorite show. So
nice.
It's been fun.
I had to stop kind of after season 11 or something, when McSteamy died. That's kind of when I decided I was like, okay, I had to kind of jump off the Grace bed a little bit, but I was there for a while. I want to know, as you had so much success last year with all your themed events and themed meets that you had, how much you want to continue to do that and have that grow in the couple of years?
Yeah, so a big one was the women's empowerment
Mm-hmm.
meet, by far my favorite, and that's something that we plan on doing every single year, and making it bigger and better, and finding new ways to honor empowering women in all of our lives. And oh man, that was something that our team really attached onto, and I think the audience did too. I loved that one, and then we try to do some other fun stuff as well. So I'm excited to get more innovative, more creative, and come up with some new themes for next year too. But we're really trying to make that environment in Barnhill fun for people to come and experience gymnastics, and really make it more entertainment than
Mm-hmm.
just a sports event. And we had a lot of success this year with our crowds, and I'm so grateful for all of the fans that came and watched. It really fueled our team and their passion. So I'm excited to grow it each and every year.
All right, and lastly, my question, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the Olympics being postponed. As a former Olympian yourself, your thoughts about that announcement, and maybe a perspective on having to wait a whole nother year. How hard is that for a gymnast to do?
Yeah. So on one hand, I'm really glad they postponed it, because a lot of athletes' facilities are closed down. They can't train a whole lot right now. And I keep explaining to people, gymnastics is so unique in the sense that you can't do gymnastics anywhere else but a gymnastics gym. You can't really go out in the grass and do a whole lot, because we have certain mats and
Mm-hmm.
surfaces that keep it safe for gymnasts. So I'm glad they postponed it so that athletes have enough time to be able to prepare safely. But on the other hand, some athletes have been planning their training so that they peak this fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of recalibration, a lot of figuring out what is the plan now. So it's good and bad for the athletes. I'm curious to see what will happen, and but I'm really glad they postponed it, just for the health and safety of everyone around the world, and also for the health and safety of the gymnasts, especially because gymnastics is such a unique sport.
Well, Jordyn, it's great to catch up with you. Glad you're doing well. Love on that dog. Maybe put some video and some pictures on social media for us. We'd love
I
to
will.
see
I
it.
will. Thank you
But
for having me.
yeah, thanks for the time.